Hi, my name's Lucy, and my skin used to be so oily that I would wipe it with rubbing alcohol just to try and control the shine. Thankfully, I came to my senses, and I will share with you my top 5 tricks today on how to get your oily skin to behave much better. My tip number 1 is to cleanse your skin properly. I used to think that the more intense and the harsher the cleanser, the better. I really enjoyed that squeaky clean feeling after washing my face when my skin felt almost tight, but it looked very matte. And what ended up happening is my skin would actually overcompensate for such abuse by producing more oil, trying to keep the moisture that was left there in. So the more I washed my face with harsh cleansers, the oilier it became. And it got to a point where midday it would be so greasy that I would just take a rubbing alcohol pad and just wipe my skin. And it felt good for about a second, and then of course the oil cycle just continued. So now I use very gentle products. Look for something with a low pH. There's the very popular cleanser by COSRX, the low pH morning cleanser that people like. I used it, it was okay, but even that was just a bit too harsh for me. I actually like the Purito one better. It was more gentle and still did a great job at cleansing my skin. I'll leave links for everything I'm talking about in the description box, as well as links to full reviews if I have them up on my blog. But in general, just look for something gentle that won't strip your skin of its beneficial oils. And you can also try something with a low concentration of salicylic acid in it. That can really help with oil production and even pore appearance. And sometimes in leave-in products, salicylic acid can be a bit drying, but in a cleanser that you just apply and then rinse off, it should be fine. My tip number 2 is to hydrate the skin properly. Skin can be oily and dehydrated at the same time. In fact, sometimes it is oily to try and compensate for the dehydration. So I like to layer light hydrating toners, such as this one. This is the Benton green tea toner, and it has the consistency of water. It's very light. It gets absorbed very easily by the skin. I like to use it in the morning. It would be fine for any time of the year. And then sometimes in the evening I would use something a bit heavier, such as this Klairs Supple Preparation Toner. This is the unscented version. It's a bit thicker. It's very moisturizing, and it feels great to use it. And then sometimes I would also do a serum, such as this one. This is the Purito Acid 90 Serum. It is made with hyaluronic acid. And hyaluronic acid attracts environmental moisture to the skin, bringing more hydration to the cells. One thing to note, however, with these toners and the serums is you want to apply them to moist skin to basically add them to the water that's already on the skin, and then make sure to seal it in with something, because as the hyaluronic acid evaporates and as these toners evaporate, sometimes they can take even more moisture out of your skin with them. So that would basically negate what we're trying to do here. So make sure that you seal them in with something, which actually brings me to my next tip, which is do not skip a moisturizer. Moisturizing layer is usually an occlusive layer that keeps in all that great moisture that we just put in. And you might not want to use a heavy cream if you have oily skin, but there are plenty of light moisturizers. Usually they're called emulsion or a lotion in Korean skincare. And I like this one, let's see over here, the Benton Deep Green Tea Lotion. It is very light. It does not make your skin oily or greasy, but it can help keep all of that hydration in. And then sometimes you can just do a double whammy, and if you're using a moisturizer in the morning, you might find a moisturizing SPF that would combine both the SPF and the moisturizing step, such as this one. Oops, this one is the Purito Comfy Water Sunblock SPF 50, and this is 70% water. So it's very light, won't make your skin greasy or heavy, but it's also very moisturizing, so You can go after serum directly to this step, skipping the lotion or emulsion, saving yourself a little bit of time, maybe a little bit of money. This has a great texture and it's quite light. I do enjoy it, and it wears under makeup very well. It doesn't affect really your makeup application. My tip number 4 is to oil control wisely. This is exactly where I used to fail so hard in my past life. I used to oil control with as harsh of products as possible. I would use rubbing alcohol, like I mentioned. I would put powder all over my face multiple times a day, just trying to get the shine to stop, and it was awful, and it never really helped. So now I found some products that help. Definitely skip anything that has drying alcohols in them, like denatured alcohol or just plain alcohol. There are certain alcohols that are considered hydrating alcohols or fatty alcohols that would be okay, but you definitely want to skip the drying ones. So some of my favorite things to use for oil control now is this Etude Hamamelis T-Zone serum. This would go on before a moisturizer at your serum step, and it can just go on your T-zone or your problem areas. It doesn't have to go all over the face, but it has this little roller ball, and you just roll it on the affected areas and then follow with the moisturizer, and this helps with the oil control without having alcohols in it. I do like it. It's quite good. Then I have this Laneige Glowy Makeup Serum. You can see I'm quite a fan of this. I showed how to use this in my morning routine video that I'd link down below. But this has a couple different benefits. First of all, it gives your skin a glow, not oily shine, but a healthy glow that everybody wants these days. It also can normalize sebum production, so the skin oil production, and make the face less greasy and less shiny. I use it even when I don't wear foundation, so I would just do this after my SPF and then a powder, and my skin tends to just stay glowy and not oily all day. But this is a fantastic product. I did have a friend try it and not like it and say that it was kind of sticky for her. I do not get the sticky feeling, but I thought I'd mention that just so you're aware. I always try to give full information. And then one of my holy grails that I think I've bought this 2 or 3 times now, which is saying a lot because being a blogger, I try so many different things that I rarely buy the same thing twice unless I really, really loved it, and this I really love. This is the Innisfree No Sebum Powder Cream, and it is amazing. It goes on after sunscreen, which is kind of different for a cream. Usually creams go before sunscreens, but this one goes after. And it is a mix of cream, primer, and powder all in one. It has this amazing powdery texture, and it makes the skin matte, not too matte, but not dry. So it's this thick white cream. I've written about it on my blog before, and I'll put a link down below, but I'll just show you here. So it's thick, but it spreads easily. I'm going to rub it in. It does not leave a white cast, at least on me. Granted, I'm quite pale, but you can see there's no white cast. And this does a very good job at controlling the oil and the shine. Plus it works as a primer as well. And you can use it in the morning, or if you have very oily skin, you can put it on before bed, and it actually normalizes the sebum production while you sleep. So a lot of the time, people with oily skin or combination skin types like mine would wake up with basically an oil sheen on their face right straight up in the morning. And you can try this cream, and that is supposed to help with that, or at least it helped me with that. And I just love how it has this very nice finish to it, that even if you don't use any makeup products or powder or anything on top of it, it makes your skin very velvety, very touchable, and it's just amazing. Tip number 5 is to SPF daily, and this tip is really true for any skin type, any skin concern, anything. Unfortunately, all of your skincare efforts would go in vain if you do not, in addition to them, also protect yourself from the sun. Regardless of the season, the weather, the UVA rays penetrate any clouds, even when it's not sunny outside. They go through windows, they go through car windows on the sides, and they get really deep into the layers of the skin and hinder collagen production. They can cause sagging and enlarged pores, pigmentation spots, a whole plethora of things. So definitely SPF all day, every day, even if you work in an office, because just walking from the car to the building exposes you. I mean, I really could talk about SPF forever, but some of the SPF, especially in the European and North American markets, has bad reputation for being oily, sticky, and greasy. That is fortunately not the case for Korean SPFs. And my favorite one, just absolutely the best, I should buy it again because I just ran out, is the Make Prem. I'll put a picture over here somewhere of that you can take a look. But it is amazing. It has no alcohol in it, and yet it is mattifying. Some people with dry skin types did say that it is drying for them. That has not been my experience. Even in my dry zones on my cheeks, it does not dry me out, and it's just a fantastic matte finish, very pleasant to use. I really enjoyed it. Then currently I am using this Purito that I showed already, the Comfy Water one. This is more hydrating. Like I said, this would definitely replace the emulsion or the cream step for most people. I'm excited to use this now that we're going into the fall. I think this would be very nice for fall and winter months when it's drier outside and also indoors with the heat. But both of these and the Make Prem ones, they're not very expensive, but they're more expensive than this next one that I'm going to show you. And this one is the Etude House Sunprise Mild Airy Finish. This is, I think, around $10, if not less. And this is a really big 50 milliliter. Sorry, 55 milliliter bottle. This lasts quite a long time. It does have drying alcohol in the ingredients. However, this has not caused any kind of issues for me. I don't know if that's just because sunscreen goes as a last step on top of already layers of other skincare, or because the concentration of alcohol perhaps is not very big in this. But it has this little nozzle here, and it dispenses as this almost like a fluid, and then it goes on me without a white cast. Again, I always have to just mention that I'm so fair that maybe on a deeper skin tone it would leave a white cast. This is a mineral only sunscreen. All three of the ones that I talked about are mineral only, but there you can see no white cast, and it absorbs very well. That bottle lasts me quite a bit, even though I use sunscreen every day. But regardless of the sun protection product you choose, please just make sure to use it every day, all the time. Don't forget your neck, the sides of your neck, the tops of your ears, and the back of your neck, because if you can see the sun, it can see you, and definitely take all the steps that you can to protect yourself from it. Thank you for joining me today as I talk about all the tips for oily skin. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below. You can also read more of my reviews at KBeautyHobbit.com or find me on Instagram at KBeautyHobbit. And I get a lot of video topic suggestions and ideas in my Facebook group called Korean Beauty Fanatics. We just reached 3,000 members last week, so if that's something that interests you, please go ahead and find us and join. I would love to hear from you. Until next Saturday, I hope you have a great day, and always remember to listen to your skin. Thank you. Bye.